Now in the same way, we can create another question using the pronoun it, and again using the contraction isn't at the beginning, right? As we see there. So we say, isn't it a lovely pet? Okay. And we move to the other pronouns. Okay, so we have we. So remember we use are. So in this case we have to place are at the beginning. But since we are presenting the example with the contraction, then we're going to say aren't we classmates? And we have the same example. The same example as in here. They aren't sisters, but we're going to make that a question. So we are going to place the are first, right? Since we're using the contraction, then we're going to say aren't, then the pronoun they, right? And sisters. So aren't they sisters? And finally, we have the same with the pronoun you. By the way, in the previous video, I missed this pronoun you, so we're going to see it in a moment, all of the possibilities that we can have with you. So for this one, we are going to say, aren't you ready? Now, we're going to go over that one. But first of all, you might be wondering, okay, why isn't the teacher explaining how to make a question using a contraction with I? Because in this case, it sounds awkward to say, am I right? So that's something, if I'm not mistaken, Irish people, they use that, but this is not very common because it sounds awkward. So we're not going to write it here. This is just something that people do not usually do. Okay, so we're going to go back to basically the beginning here, and we're going to see this pronoun because I missed it. Okay, so when we say you, we refer to, it can be one person, so maybe um, your brother, maybe he's in front of you and you say, okay, you are my brother, right? It's only one person. But you can also use you to refer to plural. So it can be two people right in front of you. It can be two of your best friends, and you're going to tell them, okay, you are my best friends. Okay, so again, we use the the correct conjugation of the verb be for you would be are. So we can see it here. So we see that we use exactly the same conjugation for we, they, and you. So it's going to be we are, they are, and you are. And the examples here are going to follow the same pattern. So as we can see, here we have the affirmative statements. So for you, we're just going to place the subject, then the verb are, and the complement, which is going to be in this case intelligent. You are intelligent. Now, what about the same pronoun but in a negative way, in a negative statement? So again, we're just going to include the not adverb right after the verb be and the complement. You're not wrong, or you're not my friend. Then we move to this part. This is a question. Okay, yeah. This is a question. So, oh no, here, this one right here. So we have the questions here. So are you sure? Now the answer for this, because we're using the pronoun you, the answer for this can be yes. Now in this case, someone else is asking you, maybe. So you say, yes, I am. Because maybe I'm asking you, okay, are you sure? And then you answer, yes, I am. Or, no, I am not. Okay, so, okay, that was the example of just formulating a question. But what if it is a question in a negative form? So, we're going to say, are you, and place the not here. Are you not sure? Okay, you see, if you compare this one to this one, we're just including a not here. Okay, what would the answer be for this one? Again, the same thing. We're just going to, if the person is sure, then the person is going to say, yes, I am sure. Again, why I? Because someone else is asking you, or maybe you are asking someone else, so that person is going to answer with I, because that's the pronoun that we use to refer to ourselves. It can be a negative answer as well. No, I am not. Just like that. Now we have well, this negative way, but we didn't see it in the previous video, so I'm going to explain it. So remember that for the negative and the positive way, I'm sorry. So we start with the verb, then the pronoun, and then the complement, and that will be it. So we say, am I late? Am I student? But if we want to ask the same question, but with a negative uh, meaning or a negative connotation, then we're going to use the not. Again, we follow exactly the same structure until here, because we have, as you can see here, we have am and we have am here. We have the pronoun I, and then we have the pronoun I here. But before we place the complement, we're going to include the not. So the not is going to be right after the pronoun. So, am I not student? Okay. We can see the next example. Is he not late? Is he not late? So you see the not here, right, after the pronoun. And the same for we. Are we not students? So you see the same pattern. We're just including a not here in between the pronoun and the complement at the end of the statement in this case. Are they not friends? Okay, so again the same. We have the verb be, then the pronoun, then the not particle, and we're going to include the complement. Okay, so that's all the explanation for how to create sentence using the present tense with the verb be. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope it was clear enough.